messing around with EZD6, and it's pretty fun. It's very simple. It's good. So today we're going to do a little, we'll call it a one shot. It could, there's potential it could become more than that, but for now it's a one shot. So, but anyway, let's just get this thing kicked off right away. We'll get your guys' characters introduced, and then we'll go into some backstory and actually get it kicked off. So, of course, I'm just going to go from the top cam down to the bottom. So, Homer, you are first, as always. Who are you playing?
My name is Deendith Solarfist, or just Dean. I'm 6 foot, strong-jawed, and like to smile. I never seem to remember to button up my jacket because I don't mind if my ripped upper body is visible through a tight muscle tee. I never run from a fight, and I'm the eldest son of an important father and the pride of the entire Solarfist family. Our family motto is honor above all. The most well-adjusted character I've ever played, by far.
That was maybe the most streamlined intro by far. Like, that was impressive.
Jeez, that was, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sounds great. Alex, you're next.
So my character might end up being kind of an opposite to his character here. My character came from like a merchant family, mostly like salvagers. And they do pretty decent as far as being like a warrior or a spellcaster mage type. But I'm not really that good of a fighter on either side. So I'm more of somebody who's looking for the best deal. And, well, they still accept me, but they're like a black sheep over in the corner. Maybe go over there and help them get some tasks done. So that's why I'm over here and not on the merchant ships anymore.
Very cool. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, this will be fun. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. Andrew.
Yep. I'm playing as Oren. I am a younger brother to Dean. I am excited to be on this mission. This will be one of my first missions to kind of get myself into. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job because I'm a survivalist. I have all the equipment that I would need. But I'm still very jealous of my older brother and what he can accomplish and how well he looks. And yeah. So, and then he's a foot taller than me. So it makes me very jealous.
The whole foot. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kind of actually leads into the backstory necessary to get this thing going. So you mentioned that you haven't been on a lot of jobs kind of thing. And the fact is, even the jobs that you guys have been on for the past decade have actually been throughout and taking place specifically in a city that is just a giant floating airship. Like, it's a city on an airship. For the past decade, you've been essentially stranded in this location, just free floating through the air. There was an event that happened in the past that basically kind of made your previous land uninhabitable. So for the past decade, the city's basically just been surviving on reserves. And the sad fact of the matter is that there are people starving. The reserves are running dry rapidly, and it's getting real dangerous real quick. Thankfully, seemingly just in time, the blessing of the realization that for the first time in 10 years, you guys are floating over land yet again. So right away, the city just gathers the first adventurers that are willing to trek down to the surface, check it out, and set up a relatively safe place to build an outpost to start gathering resources again and start kicking that up. So that is where we're starting this game-ish. Any questions so far? Good. All right, cool. So you guys are saddled up on one of the only remaining dragons that will actually, that are meant to travel away from this airship down specifically to the surface world, should that possibility become real. And now it has. So you are saddled up on a dragon that takes you down onto the surface, drops you off, heads back to the airship. You don't know the dragon. You don't know its name. It doesn't speak. It's kind of almost uncomfortably informal, the way that you're just like, they're like, yeah, you'll do it. Perfect. They put you on the dragon and then you're sent down. So when you arrive, you find several things on the surface. First off, it's beautiful. It's very inhabitable, lush vegetation. There are beasts, but most of the beasts that you encounter are non-predatory. They're like very much just like deer types of creatures and things like that. amazing news, because realistically, of the reserves that you've been, feasting on the past decade, have been essentially just monsters, like monster parts that have been refined, and it's not great. So this is a very welcome sight. Your voyage goes extremely well until there's one point you're going back to the exact spot where you were told to shoot up a flare to call the dragon back down, essentially, to pick you back up. And the ground cracks beneath you. There's no warning to this whatsoever, but the stable ground that you thought you were standing on opens up with just like a gaping maw, and you are plunged down into darkness for a while until eventually you actually hit the earth like a giant slide, and literally you just kind of tumble down this sloped hill. The darkness is actually kind of illuminated now with a few different things. There's like orange hues that you're seeing. There are green hues that you're seeing, and you're beginning to make sense of the landscape as you're sliding down in it. Where's the thing? Okay. So, yes, there are mainly green hues that you're seeing of bioluminescent fungi and mosses and things like that. And then you see, as you're sliding down this thing, trying to keep your limbs intact, you notice that you're seeing bones, big bones, like very large bones, just kind of like lodged in the sides of the earth as you're traveling down it, till eventually you hit the ground with a loud thud. And directly in front of you, I guess we'll just kind of do this here. Directly in front of you, as you land, you see a creature feasting on a smaller beast that looks to be a deer, but the creature you're seeing and general location looks something like this. So you land in this corridor, essentially, a bit of light coming from the surface here and there in the ceiling. But yeah, you land, you see this sight. There's bones, like a rib cage, just like protruding around this creature, and it's just like feasting on a small beast there in front of you. It notices you literally right away. You fall down and you make a huge racket. You land 100 feet from it. It's very large in comparison to you as well. It's probably 20 feet tall as reference. But yeah. So there you guys are. You land. All my talking's done. What do you do?
Holy crap.
As a player, I'm screaming, "Oh no!" But as Dean, Oren, don't worry, I'll protect you. I'm gonna like push him behind me.
Very good.
I have a danger sense, so I've actually been like terrifiedly cowering since before we got sucked into the hole. Like I was the one like shaking, shooting the flare, like where's it coming from?
Yeah.
And so I've just like been shaking, and then I look up and I'm like, another one.
Yes, exactly. That actually makes perfect sense. So before the earth opened up, basically you would have felt that something was way off, and maybe even just started freaking out or like running away. But the way that the ground opens up, it's inescapable. It happens like in the blink of an eye. You see the flare gun just like rattle on the ground next to you. Unfortunately unfired. It was like right before you pulled the trigger, no flare sent. But yeah, you did have a heads up, and that'll come into play. Don't forget to remind me of that randomly when it's necessary.
I
Just figured I'd show that I am experiencing massive anxiety right now.
Yeah.
I'm also like I feel like I'm the least shaken because of my reflexes. I think I got my shield underneath, and I was just like a slide. Like I was just riding my shield down. Like everyone's like dirty and grimy and like bruised and stuff and like cut. And I just like I get to the end and just kind of like brush some stuff. Like I'm just completely fine.
Yeah, Oren is, I'm just picking myself up off the ground. I'm pretty hurt, and I'm just overwhelmed by this thing. I'm trying my best to try to rig my gun and get it started. But I'm also trying to like show my brother that I can kind of handle myself. I'm
Or
like
you
stepping up.
take the safety off. Don't forget about that.
Get off me. Push him back. Need your help.
Showing my terrible luck, I probably did like 2 or 3 like somersaults as I was trying to get myself up, and I'm just like 2 or 3 feet closer to this thing than you guys. I'm like, crap.
Yeah, and at that moment you notice the thing like it takes a very like almost violent halt to just like feasting on this beast. and you see the glint of its red eyes as it just slowly pulls its head up and makes just terribly eerie and calm eye contact with you. But I'd say your danger sense is definitely going crazy, and you feel that this thing is not going to just stand there and look at you.
I'm gonna roll just to see investigation, looking at this creature to try to determine if this is a possible fight, or should I start getting roped to climb out of this hole.
Okay, that sounds good. I would definitely say right now, too. Okay, well, I'd definitely say right now it's just staring at you, but your friend with danger sense will definitely be letting you know it's going to rush you. Like any second, you can feel it instinctively, like this thing's gonna rush you. So what's happening here?
Did it roll a bunch of times?
Yeah.
Well, I kept pushing it, and I was like, it's not doing anything.
Nothing's happening. It did.
Just take the first one.
Okay, it was a 2.
Oh gosh, that's a bad roll.
So
But whatever.
I would say in the pressure of the moment with Damash letting you know, like constantly, like it's gonna rush us, it's gonna rush us, it's gonna rush us. You really can't think enough to
My flamethrower is like struggling to. I was looking at this creature, but also trying to fiddle with that, and it's not working for some reason the way I need it to work. It's not taking the cartridge. I'm kind of freaking out.
Everyone stay calm. We simply need to set a trap. We have some time before it's going to arrive. This is enough of a distance. We've got a few seconds to prepare. Because I'm noticing that, Damash is like freaking out, and that's like actually where half of my reflexes is from, is I just notice when he's freaking out, and then I can prepare better for it. All right. There's quite a few stalactites up above us, or whichever one's the wrong one is what I'll say. There's a bunch of stalagmites
yeah
up on the ceiling. Let's use our firearms. Let's get some of those to maybe drop on it, and then maybe we can do something here with this ground in front of us with these bones. Is there some way we could slow it down? Maybe that thing looks pretty fast.
Of course, you guys can keep planning, but like basically, as soon as you're like, we're good, calm down, and you're like talking it out, the thing does immediately just start rushing you guys. So just like pouncing forward you with like rapid ferocity, but out of game, you can still prepare for this accordingly. So
I would say that these two were probably ready with their like weapons in the first few moments, but I was fumbling for quite a while. But now that I see it charging at me, I'm like, grab the pistol. And I'm just barely about to like draw it out.
There we go.
Oren, you should find us an escape route. Are there any tunnels or ways we can get out of here? Because you said it's like 20 feet tall, right? It's huge.
Yeah.
Look for something small, and if it can't fit, too small that I can't fit.
I pull out my handgun as well.
But I think I'll stand in front with my shield up, like braced, and then like with my pistol aimed around it. Maybe like half behind, like if there's a rib near me or something, like a big rib.
Mm-hmm.
So partially in cover too.
100%. Absolutely.
I'm not so dumb I would stand in the middle,
right,
in the open.
Okay, fair. So Will, you've got time for all of you to react, to try to do something, but basically you don't have much time. So you've got time to react to do something. So what are you guys thinking you want to try to accomplish before this thing is on you?
So I'm like this, like I'm braced, but I'm not actually aiming at it. I'm aiming up. And as soon as I see a particularly large stalagmite that I think I'll be able to hit it, I'm going to shoot at that to get it to try to fall on it.
Okay, that sounds good. Does anyone want to kick anything else off right away with that or before that? Or we want to just lead with that and see what happens?
Could I try to distract it to help the stalagmite hit?
Absolutely, yes.
I have a whistle, and it might be cool if I could just real loud and maybe run off in a direction, just grab its attention.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely. We'll call that a help action too. So with your roll, Homer, you'll get another D6, and Alex, you get a karma.
Nice.
Andrew, you want to do anything?
I'm also gonna fire with my pistol.
Okay.
At this thing.
Okay, sounds good.
Straight at him and stuff.
So I want to say maybe that would almost happen first narratively here. So the whistle, like about the same time as the whistle, and you're sprinting off. Okay. Was that Andrew's roll with the attack?
Oren, that's Oren's roll.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Let's see. What's the bonus for it? You guys know?
So if it's like a ranged attack, if you have a boon with ranged attacks in general, then you would roll 2d6 instead of 1. That's pretty much your bonus.
Oh, gotcha.
If you don't, it's just straight up a D6.
There's not.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, there's not usually modifiers.
Right.
Well, that's my
But
roll then.
Okay. But there is karma. And at any time, you can burn karma to bring it up even more, even to the point that you can like spend 1 karma right now and make it a crit.
I am spending it. Yeah, let's do the crit.
Okay. What's up, Homer?
We'd start with 3 karma and a hero dice. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so you spend 1 karma, bring it up to a crit, and you shoot this thing, and a confirmed crit is the only way to actually damage it from the front as it's charging you. So this thing's like charging you. You notice it's like armored like crazy at the front specifically. Charging you, you take a shot, and it actually like right above one of its eyes, you see it just like plunge a hole deep through its armor, and a bit of like a green gory pus kind of leak out of that hole as well, and it reacts accordingly. It's a relatively small bullet to this thing, but it still feels it, and that is 1 damage. Because it's a crit, you can actually immediately roll again on this attack.
Let's go. Let's take this thing down.
Okay, as I
And I'm
mentioned.
going to spend another 2.
Okay,
Let's use the hero die. Reroll.
okay, yeah, you can do that.
No go.
Okay.
I just keep firing.
Okay. Yeah, you notice you may have just gotten lucky with your first shot. It landed perfectly. Everything else you're noticing is just like ricocheting off of its steel-like chitinous plates on its body. So there is
This
that.
thing is getting close.
So
Do something.
the whistle goes off and starts sprinting in another direction. The thing is now distracted, focused specifically on that. Runs directly under a really nice size stalactite on the ceiling, which would give Homer his opening, Deendith, his opening to take a shot at that stalactite.
Stay calm, brother. We'll survive this. We always do.
Okay.
I'll spend a karma to make that a 6.
All right. So you shoot this stalactite, and you notice right away that the stalactite, this is actually amazing. The stalactite is, first off, bigger than one you wanted to shoot, actually, because you're like, I don't know if that one's going to break off. You shoot it, it punches a strong hole straight through the center of like the base of this thing hanging on the ceiling. And you notice tons of it starts crumbling down and starts like scattering on the creature's body, but it does not completely fall. But since it's a crit, you roll again to try to really dislodge this thing with a 5.
So you'd spend another karma then to
Okay.
make that a 6.
Okay. With this shot, it is enough. You actually break the thing completely free. It comes down and slams solidly into the tail and one of the back legs of this creature, obliterating that spot. Like the stalactite is the size of the limbs that were broken. And immediately this creature just like stops and like slides on the ground before it gets to you. Blood and like chitinous armor just like chunks off of this creature as it just slides violently on the ground towards you guys. And you see it kind of like limp up. It pulls itself up, lets out one monstrous roar in your direction, echoes insanely loud through this corridor. And then you see it kind of like stop. And it does not continue rushing you guys at this point. It's just kind of sitting there watching you and what you do.
Oh.
Oren's going to run straight over toward Dimash. I'm like focused on escaping this, whatever it is.
Okay.
Focused on kind of figuring things out.
Sounds good. You reach him in an instant.
Following
The
you.
creature doesn't seem to react.
Are there corridors that we might be able to duck in and out of, or is there a visible exit that isn't guarded by this beast?
So you're looking around and there are holes here and there, but you don't see any that fall more than 10 feet into the sides of the walls here. There are several ribs that you could kind of like sneak behind to have the ribs behind you or between you and the beast. But really the only way forward that you can see is on the other side of this creature.
Yeah, I have equipment for climbing. I have ropes and then I have batons. Pins.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's pinned? No, you said it kept moving forward.
It's not necessarily pinned, but you can tell that its tail and one of its legs are all sorts of broken and like shattered to the point that they will not move appropriately. So it seems to be kind of just like sitting there, almost waiting, still guarding its territory, but not aggressively rushing you now.
I'll light a torch if there's a lull.
Okay, you definitely can. Torch is
Can I
lit.
just observe the creature for a minute? Like, what does it look like? It digs or burrows or climbs?
Absolutely.
Things like that. Or even like, you know how certain animals that are like, you can sometimes tell if it's a pack animal, not a versus like a single animal.
Yes.
Usually by its size, but this thing's already massive. So like, I don't know. If there's anything like that, I can get any kind of feel for what type of like a hunter it is and things like that.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a roll. Is that something you think? Is that something you would have a bane, or I'm sorry, a boon with? Not necessarily. Okay, go ahead and just give me a roll and see what we get out of it. That's really good. So you're looking it over. You can tell that maybe the base creature type of this thing is like kind of lizard-like. It is definitely like insanely armored. Like you've never seen a lizard-like creature so armored, even among dragons. And so you're kind of weighing this out, and you're like, that means that
this is a cold-blooded creature. Then is what I'm getting.
Yep, you're willing to guess it is something like that. You're noticing that its blood is like consistent with other large lizard-like creatures that you've encountered before too. Specifically, you remember seeing
the blood congealing.
I don't know if this is a science thing that I should know, and I'm just not smart enough. Why do you ask?
So is it? I'm asking. Oh yeah. I should be more transparent. Some lizards can lose limbs and regrow them later, so they are quick to not keep bleeding because that's part of their survival. So they clot really fast sometimes.
Okay.
I'm curious, like maybe the wound on its face, I would get a better sight on if it's like completely already like closed up, and it's just waiting a minute to stop bleeding to death, and then it's going to come after us.
You did this to yourself, Homer. I need a D6 for a fate roll.
Well, did I give you the ability that's maybe now what it does?
Okay, that's better than not for you. So you will notice that its blood does not seem to congeal quick enough to suggest that it might be able to do that.
I mean, I guess I assume I don't know that much about blood congealing, but anyways.
Right. It doesn't seem that it doesn't lop its tail off despite it being broken or anything else like that to necessarily suggest that it's an inherent ability it might have.
Did it react negatively to the sunlight or torchlight?
Oh,
that's a good question. For the most part, I'm going to say no. It might like react to it in general, as it is like maybe a bit brighter than it's used to, but not like extremely no.
Okay, if it is cold-blooded though, if we get it cold, it's going to slow down its like movement and reflexes. And you have some kind of water abilities, is that right? Somebody does?
I can make a water force field, or I can make a water elemental.
Okay. I'm just trying to think outside the box. It's definitely watching us. I mean, is there another stalactite above it?
I was actually just going to suggest that. The one that you broke off is bigger than you wanted, but there are plenty more literally right above it as it sits there. That's an option.
I think this thing is too horrifying to want falling behind us. So unless you guys have a better idea, I'm thinking we need to drop a few more of those stalagmites on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put my pistol at the ceiling too. We can all do it at the same time.
Okay. Sounds good. You guys take aim at several different stalactites above the creature, and rapidly you just start blasting. And to great effect, there are several stalactites that break off, and maybe even more than you intended. The ceiling caves in pretty significantly in a few areas where the stalactites actually take more earth with it than you expected. And this creature is pretty quickly just like screaming in pain, and then it's like silenced as it's like completely covered with stone and earth. And there's now just a mound in the middle of this ribcage corridor.
Does it look like it's still moving?
Yeah.
Honestly, you can hardly see it. You can hardly see bits and pieces, but what you can see, and from the mound of the earth there covering it, there doesn't seem to be any movement or noise.
Now, I have 2 extra senses. I, the 5 normal senses, and then there's, of course, danger sense, but I also have treasure sense. And am I getting any sort of treasure sense from this creature? Like, when it died, does it have, like, ruby-like scales, or is it, like, blood somehow super valuable? Like, are my merchant instincts kicking in somehow?
Okay. That's awesome. 100%. The first thing you're noticing, this thing's like natural armor is insane, and if the right people get their hands on it, you know that there are like blacksmiths or beast smiths even that can make something out of that, weapons or armor 100%. And the next thing you're thinking, you're pretty used to eating monsters, and you're like, holy crap, there's a pile of edible meat in front of us right now, kind of thing. So like that's an option too. Technically your eyes are on resources originally on your way down, so yeah.
Okay.
Do you need help, Demont? Walk
yeah,
over
yeah.
and start pulling some of the rocks off of this thing. Try to find a limb.
Definitely. I'll take out my hammer that I usually use to like climb, and then I'll just start trying to chip away some of the scales, see if I can get them to come off.
Okay. You do exactly that with precision and time. It's not too hard to peel off several scales in a way that you could even kind of like stack them together so that they're carryable. And you've got some very solid scales that honestly in a pinch could even serve as shields with you. And it's pretty much as much you're able to gather as much as you're comfortable to carry in this situation.
Okay. I'll probably take enough that it doesn't completely fill my backpack, but enough that I'll be able to make something cool with it. Like 5 scales if they're bucklers shape.
Yep, that sounds good. Add it 5 scales.
I think part of the reason Dimash is here is because he's semi swindled me out of like several deals, and I'm like, if we're gonna be investigating this new land, we need someone like him, on this mission.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we
Nothing
maybe
but-
even like went to school together, and that's like how that's how we've interacted.
Nothing but the best prices for my friends. It's only 25% extra for you.
25% mark.
I think maybe I've been on lookout while you guys are doing that, and like I'd love to take some. I don't know if we're in a hurry, because like we might be down here for a while. This is probably a good idea to take as long as we need to, maybe get some rations off this thing and grab the parts like you want. Are your danger sense tingling at all? Is this my only concern was that roar might bring more like it.
I'm not feeling anything right now, but I could give a quick think to it.
You know what? For danger sense, I am going to give
It's
you.
just I can't be surprised.
Okay, that makes sense. I am going to give you a little something extra, and this isn't really helpful because as a player, you already know this, but as your character, narratively, you wouldn't necessarily know this. There's more danger to come. So you're like,
Okay.
that's not it. We're not safe, kind of thing. And you can, it is a gut instinct to know that.
Okay, for sure. So my danger sense did go down just a tiny bit, but it's still like having a sliver. It's still picking at you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
To see how deep we fell down.
Okay, yeah. So you look up above you, and you guys fell maybe like 100 feet through the earth. Like you look up and you can hardly. Well, the crevice was actually huge. So like above you, there'd be a pretty large like split where you can see the sunlight. As you look up, it like hurts your eyes. You've already kind of instinctively adapted a bit to the darker environment down here. Yeah, you fell for quite a while, and you notice that as you fell, the walls of the earth are still like very much crumbling and shaking here and there and stuff like that. And your first thought is basically just like you don't feel good about climbing it because none of it seems stable, kind of thing.
I kind of go and put my hand up against the rocks to try to check them, and it breaks off. Dang, yeah. I'm like, have my rope, and I'm kind of counting out the length of it, like 50 feet. Well, I don't know if this doesn't seem like an option. Kind of put my stuff back in my bag. Be useful for later.
Yeah.
We don't have any more flare guns, I assume.
Yeah, did that one
Come on.
fall with us?
I'd say, yeah, the one fell with you. I would say you do have that flare gun and probably a backup. So maybe you actually do have 2 on you.
I mess with my cartridge and put a little fire. I gotta conserve as best I can. A little fire comes out of my fire blaster gun.
Yeah. From where you are, you feel it is possible to try to shoot a flare from here up into the crevice that you fell from, and that it might travel high enough still that it could be seen for pickup. Like that is a possibility.
Well, gentlemen, we're all kind of like looking up. I'm like, put my hand on your shoulders. Like, I think it's a little bit too far. Let's make sure we've got one of these working well for when we get a little bit closer to the service.
All right. I can get behind that. I was never much of a good shot, so I don't think I'm gonna shoot through
You're
the
up
needle
100
here.
feet. I don't think so either.
Even if
Kinda
I did
push
make it through, I'd set the
Dean
forest on
off of
fire
me.
or something.
Like immediately shove off his hand. Well, and also, if there's more creatures like that, was the deer enlarged as well, or was it like a similar size to what we would maybe see in pictures?
It's like the normal size of a deer, basically.
Be wondering how the deer got all the way down here.
as well.
Do you think it has a pop-up hole where it grabs things like a tarantula or something?
Oh, it's a stealth hunter. That's even more terrifying.
I'm going to give you a bit of meta knowledge also to help you add it to your inventory in case it comes up later for the armor pieces or whatever. These creatures will become to known, was that right wording? Will come to be known. That's what I'm trying to say. I was like, what? These creatures will come to be known as silt stalkers.
Silt stalkers. Okay.
I think I will. Is there anything on the deer that's safe? Looks like it's safe to eat, or did it pretty much?
Well, honestly, it's pretty buried. But
Oh, right.
I would say you find some pieces of it, and it was pretty stripped already.
I think we should hurry along then.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a
Good idea.
pathway? I think we saw something just ahead of us, just past this creature,
Yes,
like a hole or a cave.
Once you've harvested the stuff from this creature, looked around a bit, you see one path forward, and it's just through this relatively large corridor, and you just kind of follow it for a while. Basically, as you're following along, there are a few things that are obviously catching your attention. There doesn't seem to be any other breakages like in the floor above you, I guess you'd say. So it's a little bit darker. The torch light is necessary for sure. There is a bit of more like bioluminescent fungus here and there. And you're noticing also that there starts to be like small pools of a green liquid that is very vibrantly glowing also. And you even notice some of it like trickling out of the walls like water does in caverns as well. And you might even notice some of it becoming and like making stalactites of this liquid, so that there are like stalactites where like the tips of the stalactite are a vibrant green as well. But the corridor kind of just continues on relatively straight for a while until
Maybe I'm gonna like pause for a moment while they keep walking and try to stealthily, if I have an extra little water skin or an extra vial or flask, I'd like to fill it with this strange liquid, and then like lift up like where my rib cage is and like put it in one of my secret compartments.
Okay, that sounds good. You do exactly that. No issues. You are careful not to actually touch it at all, just in case.
Correct.
But it does. Yeah, you are able to kind of harvest a little bit of it in just like a smaller water skin, kind of literally for something exactly like this. It's a vial, but made of a thick leather, like a water skin, basically.
Maybe I had a little like alcohol related flask, and I just like quickly chug it and then fill it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I like that. Yeah, you do exactly that. You kind of stick it in one of your strange hidden body compartments, whatever that means. No, I'm just kidding. That is a thing with your character. That sounds good. Okay.
I didn't lean over.
That's good. So the only other thing that really catches your attention moving forward is there's a similar, it almost looks like pine sap that kind of like is protruding from the walls in some spots. It's a very like amber like substance. And eventually, I'd say like in the distance, you actually see the corridor that you're walking through opens up a little bit more. And the first thing you see in the distance is actually a really large, you swear it's a door. Like it literally just looks like a somewhat archaic frame, but intentionally sculpted, and literally just a giant like stone slab of a door. As you get a little bit closer, you see the room that the door is in is just like filled. You kind of like turn a corner enough to unveil all this. It's just like filled with amber pods with something in them. And you see the air is like thick and covered. Your torchlight casts through it like it's fog, and it's like shifting. And it seems like steam, something like this.
I don't like that I'm getting alien vibes.
As Are we seeing this, or is it on the other side of the door?
You are seeing all of this. The corridor seems to come to a relative end. And this is like the room that it ends in, essentially.
Do I get any senses from my 2 senses extra? Danger or treasure? When I'm looking at these like little things?
You can tell that there
worth
are
it?
some sort of living
You want to take
creatures.
one of these?
Right.
Yeah.
There are some sort of living creatures in these pods. Living creatures in pods hold some sort of value to someone, probably. Other than that, you notice that there are literal like there's literal like metalwork and like piping throughout the floor, along with relatively natural steam vents. And yeah, that's all the stuff you're noticing right away. The danger seems relatively
flammable?
safe, except for whatever's possibly happening with this steam. Steam is just in general kind of potentially unsafe. So
Does the steam feel thick like water steam, or does it feel like sulfur-ish steam for underwater stuff or underground stuff?
right, best you can tell, it seems like very wet and humid in here. It kind of just seems like regular steam.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You go ahead and look at the wall and do all of that. I think I might just try to pocket one of these little life forms.
Gosh darn you.
I'm looking
alien
for.
movie somehow.
I'm gonna switch and pull out my big dragon maul, and I'm looking for anything flammable, or like if there's a particularly large steam pipe that I could burst,
Okay.
or like a lever I can pull to like collapse the ceiling. Like I am like this is bad. This looks like I need to destroy it.
I
Okay.
look at Dean, I say, yeah, and I kind of turn up my fire throw blaster. Yeah, we're looking at Do, and it's like, no, we're not going to let him do this.
Okay, that sounds good.
Something
So,
about this is not right.
where do we start
maybe,
here? Good.
Maybe looking at the walls. Is there any like glyphs or anything?
Okay, you guys are looking for things, and you're finding the things you're looking for. Okay. So first,
Yep.
Homer said that he's going to look for like specific like levers or anything like that. You do actually find, you're kind of like tracing the pipes, just like gingerly walking through here. You're tracing the pipes. You see that there are several levers and valves actually as you're looking around, and it seems like this is some sort of like a directional control room of some kind with this steam or something. Like you don't fully understand how yet, but you're seeing valves and levers here and there. You're noticing that there are 3 specific valves that seem like all the same, and they're just kind of like routing more or less the steam through these pipes or whatever. So that's what you notice as you're looking around. Andrew, you said you're looking around for glyphs and things like that. You find exactly that.
I'm a code breaker,
Okay.
so I can decipher codes unless I roll a 1.
Oh my gosh. What an absolutely clutch character
And
thing
I can do it.
for
I
this.
can do it faster. I can do it faster if the higher the roll it says.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay. Well, this room. Okay. You're built for this. You're looking at
Don't
the
touch
door right
anything
away.
until I.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
You notice right away the door has symbols of its own. Okay, perfect. Good. Even better. Okay, so the door has symbols of its own that don't seem random. They don't necessarily seem magical. Like they're not inscribed for enchantment purposes or anything like that. They seem very specifically like some sort of instruction manual. And you're able to kind of like look at that and analyze that way faster than anyone else would have, for the record. So that's good and obvious. It even points you to the fact that this like instruction manual, it only takes you a little bit of kind of like looking through it to kind of understand it. And there might be a moment where like Dean is like, hey, I found these things. Like I found these valves on the steam pipes kind of thing. And you're like right away, you're like, yeah, there should be glyphs near them or on them somewhere kind of thing. Like you recognize that from the instructions of this door.
I'm going back and forth, like looking at the glyphs on the levers and then looking at the glyphs on the door, trying to be like, okay, this compare them.
I'll offer, if you want to write them down or anything. I have paper, quill, ink, chalk, and charcoal. So you could even like put it on the wall and just copy it if you need to.
And use
Be
the chalk
helpful.
maybe to mark what stuff does for us even.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, as far as stealing one of the creatures, if you did it sneakily, I definitely would have noticed. But if you did it openly, I would have been like, don't touch that.
I would have tried to do anything that's looting kind of sneakily because I will just eventually
Indiana
put it in my
Jones.
shop later.
Okay, so the other two have they're cooking on figuring this room out. That's amazing. So in the meantime, you are trying to pick up one of these pods. Go ahead and give me some sort of extraction roll to try to pocket a pod. They're relatively large. They're like the size of a watermelon. Easy.
Could I also use my Daredevil feature, a boon to complete any risky but daring non-combat action?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Oh,
that sounds
gosh.
good. So roll it with a boon.
I'm more nervous about this than the fight.
6.
Oh, mate.
Ooh.
Okay. So how does this reveal this? Okay. So first off, you very amazingly stealthily just like pick up this watermelon sized pod to the point that you're like about to slip it in your backpack. And I'm going to say that the one thing that you could have revealed by messing this up is actually revealed by someone else. Like as they're kind of figuring out the whole steam situation, there happens to just be a random like burst of steam through one of the natural vents here that makes a decent amount of sound. So you like slip this thing in your backpack. No issues. You're like, that was easy. You look over, there's this noise from the vent, and you realize as you're looking at the top of this thing in your backpack, you notice that it shudders from the sound of the vent. Like it moves. And then you kind of like glance over at the rest of the pods, and the other two guys are busy. They're occupied. But you notice that the beings in these pods definitely are like wiggling around in accordance to the sound that was made abruptly.
Okay. Now, when you say shudder, would you say that the steam is a negative or positive effect on them?
You venture to guess that it's not so much the steam as it is the sudden noise that was made
Okay.
by it.
And I'm just gonna like look on over at the pods, and the next time that there's a from the steam vents, I'm just gonna look over to the guys and be like, "Do you see this?" And just point out the correlation whenever I see it.
Yeah.
But not with mine.
Yeah, you do exactly that. You're kind of like anxiously awaiting a steam vent and it doesn't really happen. You actually just clap once and you notice that they move kind of the same way. And you're like, okay, I know I'm seeing this. You guys saw that kind of thing, right? So you are able to point that out.
Then I'll also ask how these guys are doing with their glyphs.
You guys
Whispering
have...
now.
Yeah.
This would be the only. I look at the door. Is this door like blocking our way? I look to see if the door is there any other ways through this chamber?
So you're looking around. You're really hoping to find some other way. But you look for a while, and this is literally kind of just like the end of this corridor you've been walking through. It seems that the door is the only obvious way forward.
There was no other obvious path leading up to this?
Just the one you were traveling. This was, yeah, just the corridor you were traveling before led to this room, more or less.
How did the big lizard get it? Anyways, okay.
Good question. I will say, it's just a matter of time, really. You're kind of decoding this thing. You're realizing that the door operates in accordance to the steam. It uses like very intentional means of like lightening the pulleys with hot air. There are the buckets there, but there are also a few other like mechanisms meant to capture the steam in a way that it like lightens the load of the pulleys in certain ways. And you notice the way that some of the steam is hitting it now is not quite right. And the pulleys just kind of like creak every now and then. Sometimes kind of loudly. But you know that the key is in this code that you've already kind of deciphered. And it'd just be a matter of time of adjustments made, possibly.
How formed are they? Are they all equally formed? I mean, like all these things
pods
look identical, or are some of them at different stages?
They do look very identical for the most part.
You guys maybe work on getting this door open. I'm gonna try something stupid.
If you're trying something stupid, I'm gonna take a couple steps back.
All right.
Do they look lizardy? Do they look related to the thing that we killed earlier?
They do look like some sort. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you straight. You worry at the thought that these are possibly even like larvae or early formed versions of that creature.
Okay, so we killed Mama maybe, or Dada,
So what this
or
place
something.
is?
Because it's man-made.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of interested about.
Someone was making these. Oh wait, can I make some kind of history check thing? So we've only been in our thing for 10 years. Have we heard anything about anything like this that drove us onto spaceships?
Maybe.
Because this is old looking, right? This looks older than 10 years.
Oh yeah, for sure. This looks like eerily ancient, honestly. Like
that.
This makes you wonder if it's like a pre-civilization setup somehow kind of thing. Like, who knows? But yeah, go ahead and give me a roll for that. I'm gonna say to really get anything out of it, it's gonna be a 5.
There's no way I'd have any kind of boon to this. So
I got a boon to mine, but I can roll.
Or you're the smart one. So have you ever heard of anything like this? This is obviously way older than we went onto the airship.
I don't even say anything to Dean. I kind of just look at the stuff. I have a boon to investigate.
Okay.
I'm investigating the buckets in their relation to the door. Let's go ahead and roll that doubled out.
Yep, that sounds good.
Ooh, wow, nice.
You and 3s.
Yeah, 3. Let's see what I got. I'm gonna go ahead and I need to show up my brother. I'll spend the karma.
Missing up.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Out of combat, it's tracked a little more abstractly.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like once per round.
Just to show up my brother.
Whatever.
It's pretty simple, brother. If you would have studied enough, you would have known.
Okay, so
instead of partying it up.
The thing is, I actually totally understand why you feel this way. That's why I was letting you lead us before, and I was in the back of the group when we were going to the tunnels. I'm like, he's gonna need to be in front. He needs to show us. I'm super. That's part of why I'm so annoying, because I'm also super supportive of you, which just makes it worse.
Which I hate that. I hate that you're trying to.
Perfect. So yes, Homer, you do get a karma for failing.
Then I butt mine up to 5.
5. Okay, perfect. All right. So you. Okay, I'll say you kind of help with the thing that Homer was trying to figure out too. So first off, you specifically mentioned you're investigating the more like the buckets and the mechanisms, things like that too. So you have a very good idea of how this thing works. You even know which valves to turn at this point. You're like, I'm pretty sure we just got to line this one up over here, this one over here. As long as everything works like it's supposed to when it was built, this should work. I start doing it. I just push my brother right out of the way as I'm pulling things and starting to operate it and stuff. Also, in the meantime, I will say that honestly, no, this situation you're in, you have absolutely no knowledge of. You have no history, idea, concept of what brought any of this into existence. No clue. Absolutely no clue. But yeah, so you're working on this thing. You start working on this. The first value you turn, roll me a check related to I don't even know, general motor function or something. If there's anything that you'd have for some reason to help you with that.
Hey, Oren, use your brilliance, and why don't you, after you get this door open, set it up in such a way that it's going to close behind us permanently and break the cycle. So these things are maybe not released like they're supposed to be.
Look at I don't even look at Dean. I just shut up, Dean. I'm trying to focus because I'm looking at 2 levers and I'm like, damn. I have a thing called Vigilant. It can avoid sprung traps and sudden dangers.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to let you roll this roll with a boon.
Yeah.
And it'll change the outcome potential too.
Nice.
Well, no worries.
That was a failure, so I'll just take that, right?
Yeah, the 2. So basically, you start to turn this valve. You already know where it's got to go. But the first turn that you do is so loud. It's literally just the loudest sound that and you're like, oh, hold on, wait a second. Immediately you just stop and look back, and all of the pods just kind of somewhat violently shake for a moment as the creatures inside are just rapidly bouncing off of the walls of their pods before they settle.
Store hasn't been opened in a while. Just give me a second.
Do you think it would release them or kill them if we try to stab them? I've got these spikes for climbing. If we just went along and started spiking them. Did I say Oren? I meant Dimash. Sorry.
I mean, we got enough spikes to probably spike them down, but it might take a little while. And we don't really know what it feels like when they pop out. So I'd watch you do it. At least the first
I
one.
wouldn't just like poke a hole in the shell. Like I would try to like kill the thing inside with a spike. You know.
I also feel like that might wake up the rest of them too, kind of like a chain reaction. Because
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If I can like, I don't know how hard the shell is. If I can like brace it and just push it down, I have all these like, I have these strong arms and stuff. I'm wondering if I can do it like kind of silently. You know.
when I was handling them just a moment ago, would I be able to tell exactly how hard the shell was?
At least a little bit, yeah. I'd say it was sticky first off, and it was like a really, it was almost like a tire. Like it felt like it was malleable but pretty
Okay.
stiff.
Good to know. So yeah, I feel like you could probably get through it, but it's going to take a while. And it's probably going to take a little bit of strength too. What if we plugged up some of these holes, like the steam vents? Maybe we could stop some noise from happening.
Like right before we leave, if we just like open everything up or something, I don't know. Got to tell us how to do that.
I'm sure the steam would probably build up pressure eventually and have a big if we fill them all.
I'm still confused on this whole thing, these levers and everything. I'm gonna attempt to just keep going with it. Let's go, guys.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
Things took to grow, because if it was like 100 years, or is it like every 5 years more eggs get laid? Like I have so many questions.
It's every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes, there's a whole new brood.
If there's 2 levers, do you want to man one of the levers and I'll man one of the levers, and then my danger sense and your other sense will activate? So we could probably try to duo this thing.
Quick reflexes. Well, first, before we start pulling lever or twisting things, we should make sure with Oren we're gonna get the door open first, because I don't want to be trapped in here with them.
Yeah, I think it's certain levers and things that are going to open up this door. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah,
It's a bit confusing for me.
You've cooked on it long enough that you're actually pretty confident at this point that it's like, it's just a matter of like, there's 3 valves kind of thing, and you're like, it's just a matter of turning them to the right glyphs at the right time, and you've actually pretty much figured out the sequence already. It's just a matter of doing it.
You guys are ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I walk over and I start turning them, lining them up properly, looking at the glyphs, keep looking at my papers that I've written up, and then align them all up. Okay, the last one.
Is the door controlled by the pulleys? Have ropes, but are there ropes attached to the doors that are going to move them open and closed?
Yeah, so the picture is kind of crazy, but yeah, the mechanism is actually even like wilder looking than the picture might suggest. There's even more hidden things on like the sides of the door and things like that, whatever. But yeah, basically you can tell that once this thing's lined up, the instruction manual code cipher on the door itself, it's basically just saying once it's lined up, as long as everything's working like it should, the steam will basically just force these doors open. So there are like pulleys attached to the doors that will react accordingly to push and pull in certain spots to perfectly relieve the pressure of this door and just like open her wide up.
Or
Let them know.
a particular bucket that if it was removed or damaged, or a particular pulley if it was removed or damaged, would cause the doors to not open anymore?
I'm gonna say definitely yes, but for sake of like, you would take a little bit of time to look it over as they're trying to figure it out. And it seems like it's probably relatively intact. Like you don't see any broken.
I'm asking because my plan is once these doors open to turn around and shoot a pulley or bucket.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. For sure. There are definitely bits. There are definitely bits that you see like once it would be relieved, there are certain ropes that are definitely necessary to holding it open. Yeah. Yep. You function a plan that you think could effectively shut the doors behind you. That's what you're trying to say. I totally get it. Yep.
I hope that there's nothing worse behind this door if you choose to do that, brother.
I'm sure there is, but I at least don't want 1,000. Like, how many are there? There are like 1,000 of these things.
You know,
At least
once
like 100
once this
in
goes
room.
off, this thing is gonna go crazy. I'm
And if they're
afraid that these things are gonna.
No, let's not.
It's gonna open. The door's gonna open. The steam's gonna go off like crazy. It's gonna open up the door for us. I don't know if these things will stay inside of their little pigs.
What do you need
I'm
me
just
to
gonna
do?
clap. I'm gonna clap both of you guys on the back of your shoulders and just be like, "What's the worst that could happen? Let's just do it, fellas."
Okay.
Cool.
I know. Dean. I know Oren's moving forward with this kind of regardless. So
Yeah.
let's get a roll. We're going to do kind of a joint roll for you guys. Since you're helping each other out, we'll let you both roll with boons. So Oren and Dimash, you guys are actively doing this thing. Go ahead and roll me some stuff with boons to see if you can open these without being too loud. Solid. Very good. So 5s, even without any karma spending. Though that is actually enough that there's like, you manage the squeaking of these, Oren, you effectively point out through loud whispers exactly where they need to be lined up, kind of thing. You manage the squeaking as you like literally are watching like a slow squeak of the valve, and you're just like watching the pods as they're like slightly moving, slightly vibrating, but never too violently. And you hear the steam rush through the pipes in areas you haven't even realized there were pipes yet. The function of the pulleys and this whole mechanism to open the door, immediately you see these stone slabs just like start to slide open silently. It's like insane the way that this thing was built perfectly to like open these with minimal effort. And you see beyond this door, or rather you kind of don't, because it's just like pitch black. There's no bioluminescence of any kind lighting up the next area whatsoever. But you can see in that the doors are open.
I'll still have a torch, or if my burnt out, I'll just light another one to keep the light going for everybody.
Okay, sounds good. This room,
Instead of me shooting something, Dimash, do you want to maybe light one of these ropes on fire so it closes behind us?
Yeah, if you want to. We might need a way to escape, though.
But this is a dead end this way, so it's not really an escape.
It's a barrier from something that might be much, much bigger. But I know what you mean.
I just don't want 100 of these things crawling up behind us.
I just kind of feel like as soon as we drop one of these
He's right.
buckets, we're going to start a problem that hasn't started yet.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Is there any way we can twist a valve before we leave so it closes behind us without causing any sound?
I mean, I can try to roll a to see if I can kind of close these up behind us.
Clever. So I'm
Let
happy
me
to
see.
survive.
Investigator. I'm just going to roll for it. Let's see what we got. Is the doors open? Okay.
okay, so the doors are open. You're kind of looking it through to see if there's a way you could almost set it. You can close the doors. You have an idea that like you turn the valve a little bit further and it will slowly release the parts of the mechanism that function so that you can actually get through the door and then it'll close behind you.
I do that. Does that make you feel better, brother? Does it close
Yes.
behind me?
Okay, door opens, pitch black. You've got your torch. You figure out a way to close the gate thing, the door behind you. So you kind of like set that valve in motion. The door begins closing. You guys step through the door. The door closes behind you. And the torchlight is all that you can see that's like helping you at this point. And you see a corridor not much bigger than the door itself. This is basically just a long tunnel. And it seems like carved out intentionally, where there are like very plain, straight walls, even made of stone. And the floor itself is made of stone. And it's just kind of eerily flat, constructed stone hallway ahead of you with nothing around. Like there's no decorative sconces, there's no architecture, there's no etchings in the stone, just flat, straight.
Wait a minute. The room that we just came from, did we come from like a break in the wall or something?
Yeah, basically. So this door was pretty much just like placed up against the natural end of this cavern.
So we left natural caverns into this is constructed. Somehow that didn't click for me. So we've like entered a facility.
Yeah, basically.
This might be helpful for our people.
What
Yeah, please
how,
that
How
how
tall?
tall is the ceiling?
I feel
If
like
we can see
you're
It is
metagaming
relatively tall.
something.
It's like the hall in general is maybe like 10 feet wide, 20 feet tall.
Well, nowhere but up. Let's go.
Yep.
So yeah,
You guys walk down this way for like 30 seconds. Like it's a decent amount. Like you walk quite a ways and you're like, okay, when is something going to change? Like what's happening kind of thing. Before you realize that you're like, man, the room is like sloping a little bit. And then you're like, actually it's sloping more than a little bit. And you hear like suddenly the louder and louder like grinding of stone. and you realize that this entire floor is literally actively sloping. Like, it's not that you're walking down a slope, but the floor is continuously sloping as you're walking, and you stop
Okay.
completely and it keeps sloping.
So as that's going on, I feel like my danger sense is probably going crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I still have my like Delver's gear. So I will definitely put one pitten into the floor and like just smash it down with my hammer and probably look a little bit crazy and be like,
Yes.
get down.
Yeah.
I have the same a pin and hammer, and I've been with you enough to like. As soon as you start to do that, I'm like, oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yep,
You
I
do
pull my
manage
rope
to
and I kind of
solidly lodge them both in the floor before it slopes to the point that you can't do anything, but you know, you can feel it is like continuously sloping, and any second you are, if it keeps doing this, you're going to lose your footing basically. So yeah, you slam the pitons into the stone floor effectively, and the floor keeps on sloping.
Can we
Continuously. Heck is
also
this?
tie? I like to tie a rope to each other and to our anchors. If I can get multiple anchors in as well, as it's happening, just keep pounding in more anchors and tying off. And
some rope to kind of tie off my rope to him.
Perfect.
Also put
Quickly, as he's doing that, you realize like you're not going to get it tied in time before this rope, or before you lose your footing. So Oren, right away, you kind of like, you get your rope out and immediately just start like setting up a couple knots, and like just kind of like sling it between the three of you as Dean's just like rapidly slamming more pitons into the ground everywhere he can, kind of thing. And he's like tying up the rope on there. And at the exact time that you guys manage to effectively knot yourselves together and to the pitons, like that exact moment, like last knot, you lose your footing, kind of thing. And you are just like face first on the slab at this point, like kind of just like crawling up it. And yeah, basically you're just hanging now from a few pitons and the rope that is attaching all of you down this otherwise just like sloping wall now. Like you're just hanging on a wall. And you look below you, and you can see just enough in the distance that this floor opens up to a like more natural area again, as the stone slabs have kind of just like brought you down from the constructed stone area into just like more natural terrain. And you're looking at this, basically you're just like looking directly down into this.
I love how much I'm hating everything you're giving us.
Are those real teeth or are those stalagmites?
From what you can
Honestly,
tell, it is eerily uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the right words. That they seem like teeth, but they aren't. You can tell they aren't. Like they are stones, but you're like,
Yeah, I'm hanging the
Like it
lowest.
take 1,000
I'm
years
like,
to be digested down there.
way to go, Demon. Is I'm kind of like doing the like holding the rope and turning. It's gonna be bad.
I love that so much.
I love the idea that we're like next to each other, holding on and like tied up, and then you're like the younger brother just hanging, slowly spinning down.
Yeah.
I'll just out of curiosity, I'm gonna drop my torch to see if that goes down into the mouth and affects anything.
Okay. As you drop down the torch, you see the illumination of the walls of the torch, like zooming through the actual gross maw there. And nothing happens. So like it doesn't like react to it as if it's organic in any way necessarily. But you do kind of see that basically right at the darkness, like right at the end of that strange hole where the darkness is, you can kind of see that the light disappears in a way that suggests that the hole is only that deep before it opens up into something else.
Well, that's
What are you guys
terrifying.
thinking?
I
Climb
think
up or
that
climb
might
my
be-
way up?
Yeah,
Well, back up to the room we came
I want to
from.
go down.
right. Our goal is definitely to go up, right? Is there
Yeah.
any upwards directions?
Right.
From
Now
where we
you're kind of
came
looking
from.
at where you came from, where the like room transformed. And basically the way that the ground sloped, that hallway, the ground like sloped off of that hallway to the point that it became just like a sealed stone door, more or less. Like it's just the floor became the doorway. You know what I'm saying? So just like a giant
Like a castle
stone.
almost.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no hole to go back to per se.
Okay. So our upwards direction is probably just pointing to a ceiling then. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
There's
Are
no
there any
left or right.
ledges?
Yeah, ledges.
There are a few ledges here and there for sure. Kind of like that picture where there's like a small shelf that sticks out. There are like several areas like that. Most of them is kind of below you. So you guys are like looking at maybe this image, this scene. You're kind of above this still a little ways. But there are no large shelves necessarily. There's just some, bits like that. And of course, plainly and simply, I laid out for you that you don't see any natural holes in the walls around you.
Okay.
Well, I know I said nowhere but up earlier, but I guess it's nowhere but down.
I
You're not serious, are you?
feel like we have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get rained on me 1,000 face huggers, so I think we should keep moving.
And
Those
it
doors
seems
open
like a
up.
long way down. So we might have to climb very carefully. Or have an idea. We could take the express route.
I take a rock and I throw it down to count how long before it hits. I just want to count to see how far the drop is.
Okay.
that's
I will
actually-
say you like throw it a little ways away from you to see how far it goes, but sooner than you expected, it actually like kind of lands along the wall and trickles down, kind of pointing out to you that this is more of a funneled area than you expected. Like it kind of looks like it just drops down, but it is actually more like funneled, but it travels quite a ways. You listen really closely as you drop this thing down there, and you swear like after it bounces along the walls and makes it through this hole, you swear there's a moment of quiet and then like a small splash sound.
See,
How
we
much?
should. I can catch us.
You can
can
catch
catch
us.
I can catch us.
I'm below you, Dimash.
Wait a minute. Before that, how much noise was made when this like trap type deal got let off? Set off.
The first half of the trap was pretty quiet and like unnoticeable. The last half, there was a lot of like stone grinding racket. It was pretty loud, I'd say.
That squishy watermelon in Damash's pack, does it react to sound of this kind?
Good question.
Sorry.
Just leave it at that.
Oh gosh, Dimash, if you're gonna catch us, you might as well go first.
Yeah, so what's
Either
the
that
catch?
or we
It has
just
to be all
slide
at the
down
same
the
time,
ropes.
guys. Everyone hold hands and we jump together. But I will catch us.
And he's your
I-
friend, Dean.
Hey, he's never let me down before. Are you sure this is safe? Like I'm like already let go with one hand.
He's never let you down, and then you're like, "Is this safe?"
Listen, it works. It works 80% of the time, like 90% of the time. So we might as well just go for it.
He's about to literally
I have
let
a
you down.
tent. We could maybe make like a parachute.
I actually got that covered. And then I'm gonna start to pull out
wait.
my.
They jump.
I'm gonna pull out my potion of Ministar's magic bubble, and we can fit about 12 people in this thing. And as long as we fall in this bubble shield of water, we're just gonna splat into the water.
Let's do it. I told you. Oren, this is why you only question him once. That's it. Never twice.
This isn't the first time that he's done something strange.
Right about
Or-
now, you hear just like a squelching, just like noise from your backpack.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and say, so the potion, guys, the potion. This is actually gonna work, and I believe in it quite a bit. I'm just gonna like belt down my backpack just tiny bit more.
You never have to question his.
I look at a square.
What's that?
Something that you grabbed on the surface, and then I look at him hard.
What's that?
Something you grabbed on the surface, or what?
This potion? Oh, it was given to
No.
me by my mother.
No,
What's in your bag?
you see?
Quite a few things.
you see a head resembling almost like the head of, I don't know, some insect kind of just kind of like pop out of Tamash's backpack. Literally just kind of like pops out and is like looking around, and then just like mouth opens up like the predator and just like just freaking out.
Well, I guess I have to smite it.
Yeah, I pulled my pistol too, but I'm struggling though. I'm like waiting for you. I'm waiting for Dimash because I don't want to shoot Dimash accidentally.
Right, yeah, and your guys are dangling from a rope, of course, so that is, that's complicating things.
Yeah.
Toss that down and let's
Drop their
go
bag.
on.
Not the bag.
Literally just like, no way, I'm dropping this thing. The thing sticks its head out enough that maybe you're actually able to take a shot. You shoot it, and kind of just like this creature reacts violently, just kind of like stepping on Damash's face. leaving a couple like scratches as it like pulls its mouth and cheeks across in silly looking ways. And then just just lunges to the point that just like clings to the wall and is just kind of like staring at you guys. You notice it has, now that you can actually see it, it has like small wings on its back, and it also has like the tail of kind of like a scorpion like creature, but with like 2 barbs at the end instead of 1. Yeah, it's a strange kind of like a baby sting bat of sorts.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say, that's not the egg I was sold. This is ridiculous.
It's an awfully lot. So I have one of my like enhancements is quick reflexes. Can I maybe use that with I also have my enhanced arms to maybe use the hammer from my climbing kit to squash it.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do exactly that. That sounds like something it probably could be made with a boon also.
Okay. Yeah, the augment thing is gain a boon to anything requiring quick reflexes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. Why not? That makes sense. Okay, a crit. You do exactly that. So this thing is just kind of like, it clings to the wall and rapid, like as soon as it's kind of starts to, you see it almost like start to like jump or lunge off. As soon as its like feet leave the wall, as it like lunges towards you, you just like smash into this creature, and it becomes a very large obliterated stain of a crustacean on the wall.
And so then I'm turning to Orin. Like I said, at least twice, always question him, but at the end, he'll be there for you. Like almost like it didn't happen. Just like
I'm gonna say and I'm just gonna defend myself just terribly, being like, and if we would have made it out of this cave, we would have been making big bucks from that egg. I swear to God.
I know.
Can
you're a collector of sorts. So
I wrap, if there's any body bits left, maybe I can wrap those up in a cloth or something.
Okay.
Take them back.
Sure. Yeah, you do exactly that. Right about the time you do that, you smell a strange smell. You got it wrapped up. You're like, all right, cool. Weird, but good to go. You smell a strange smell, and you look down and you would realize that there is a green liquid that has dripped onto the rope that is holding you. And I'm gonna say you are even at the top, technically, of this chain. So it's like holding you, but is also the same rope that's tied to everyone else. And you notice that the green liquid on this rope is rapidly burning through it. And you check your strange spot that you like captured the liquid in, and realize that little water skin thing that it was in is like completely burned through with this acidic like thing. And that acid is now on the rope.
I see something right in front of me. And I'm like, what the heck? What's going on up there?
All right. Tomash, you gotta go. Ropes breaking.
Yep. All right, boys, time to jump. I'm just gonna go ahead and chug my Minister's Mage Bubble Potion, and it's just gonna it's gonna start as sweat, right, just coming out for me, and then it goes into a bubble, and then it gets big enough for 12 people.
Sweat? Why sweat? That's so gross. Okay.
This happens too.
Oh.
Like I'm like, time to go, and I just like let go, and like I'm bringing everyone with me. Like I like fall. It like jerks off Tamashi, like wasn't quite ready.
Literally.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then Orange,
of course,
like, you idiot!
Of course, the rope is like a chain of several bodies, so it's like you fall, and then everyone else falls, kind of thing. It's like, uh-oh.
And I was like 3 seconds away from doing a graceful Assassin's Creed backwards fall, and then I got yanked.
Exactly. But the bubble goes off, captures all 3 of you, and kind of just like violently rolls you down this funnel. You sort of like gain your balance as you're rolling through, so that it's more of a hamster wheel instead of just a ball. So you're all kind of like surfing in this strange bubble.
Liquid, or the actual bubble?
The water automatically protects from all fire and can be rolled like a ball by the will of the caster. For the scene, anyone encased can breathe in it.
Gosh,
perfect.
I'm like
yelling.
Yeah,
underwater.
I am disgusted by it.
And by the way, I've grabbed my shield and I'm surfing down inside the bubble while everyone else is like tumbling over. I'm fixing my hair a little bit.
And we're still partially connected to you, and that's why we're tumbling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are in this bubble, protected, thankfully, but you roll straight down this funnel, and thankfully, you get enough speed that you kind of hit the edge going into this mouth thing like a ramp, and avoid like scraping the sides of any of the teeth-looking stones, and you literally just like fall straight down the middle of this thing, and you land You can actually kind of see as you land because the area under you becomes illuminated by just vibrantly bright green liquid. And you see a bunch of things catch your eye right away. There's just pools of this liquid, and you land directly in it and even like completely submerge under it for a moment before like kind of like floating, sifting back up to the surface of it. So there are, looking around, you're seeing like bridges, like man-made bridges of sorts, kind of like spanning this acid pool area. More rib cage like structures, very much like the corridor you first came in. More amber pods in several clusters around the room. And a very large version, even larger and more heinous and more disgusting version of the creature you first encountered when you came in. Looking something like this altogether here. And so you just like plunge into one of these acid pools and are kind of like floating back up, and you notice that the bubble's like slowly deteriorating kind of thing.
Just running in the bubble like a hamster wheel, kind of like to the sides as best we can, like as it deteriorates.
There you go. You managed to make it up to one of the bridges at the edge of the wall, and this creature notices you right away. Unfortunately, it's a very, very much like a repeat situation of you fall into the earth, you meet a similar creature. This one's twice its size. Easy. Sees you right away as you enter, and you are straight up in the lair of this creature, more or less. So here's the question. Do we come back to this and pick it up another time?
Sure. The question for me is, do we survive? If we survive, then we might want to pick it back up. But I don't feel like we have much.
He did
So
say
we
that
might
he's
want to
gonna
go with Blaze of
I
Glory.
don't know if I should say this, but yeah,
Andrew, that's funny.
one of us was gonna die.
Well,
Pretty sure it's gonna be Dean.
if there's anything your characters are seeing that might be anything like, first off, you see that there is a crack in the ceiling from a completely different area that is not the gaping hole you just fell through. There's a crack in the ceiling where you can actually see sunlight coming through. You have no idea how far the surface actually is, but you know it's sunlight that's coming through the crevice in the ceiling. You also notice that there is just a whole arrangement of ropes or cables that are actually drifting in through that area.
Here we go. It's a workable exit.
That's
Looking
exactly
past the
the thought.
creature that's standing in front of it. It'll work out on my like fire blaster.
Yeah.
Messing around with it. Let's go.
So it is possible. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's not possible. So,
But it's improbable. Is that what you're going to say?
it might be hard. It might be difficult. Yeah. So there's a lot of situations going on here. You see this creature move a little bit. It steps straight into this acid pool a little bit, and literally, like, you see half of its body enter this pool before it like reaches a claw up onto a bridge as it's like slowly walking around this area. It seems completely unaffected. It didn't slow down in the acid. It doesn't seem to dislike it in any way. Yeah. So
It's
there's
up
that.
to you guys. I'm good with going at it.
Yeah, I feel like we could take a shot.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh. And all of the eggs are out of the acid, though. None of them have acid on them anywhere.
Correct, as far as you can tell. And the map here is a bit more of a representation. Every spot that there's like a bushel of eggs, there's like 10 to 30 eggs kind of thing. So there's like a whole bunch of them, despite there only looking like a few here and there on the map kind of thing. There's a whole lot.
Where
So
are we?
you would be starting, let me actually get your tokens over here real quick. They're going to be like huge and not the right size, but that's okay. We'll fix that in a second.
No, I'm just that huge.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, this is
A little bit
correct.
small.
Got it. All right, let's get these guys to be the actual right size. What is happening? Hold on, time out.
Slimming effect.
It lets you egg them. What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
What is happening? Okay.
I feel so tiny right now.
Compared to the
Like if I zoom out to see the whole map, I can barely even like see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that could be worse. We just have to go across a huge thing of acid and avoid the 100-foot tall monster.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see the little crevice there at the top right corner. Well, not corner. It's almost in the middle, really. But there at the top, you can see a little crevice there. There are kind of just like ropes dangling in from there.
straight ahead, I'm imagining. Right?
Yeah.
Past the eggs.
They're
Yeah. Past everything.
out of this chamber.
So
Like, is that leaving the room at the
Uh,
bottom?
no, surely not. That is simply
No.
no. That's closed off. That's a wall.
Okay.
Yep.
I was willing to sacrifice. I was going to be a distraction. Go run screaming down the hallway.
Kind of know that my brother wouldn't do anything stupid like that. But
I mean,
I'm
I've
gonna
got some
like
drugs.
move fast. I'm gonna try to just run. I want to get ahead of this thing before it gets fully in front. So if I can move mine and move to the fullest of what I can move, and
Okay.
that's it for my action.
Okay. It would be in EZD6. It's just called near, but it's like roughly 30 feet, just kind of like Shadow Dark. So you can move about 30 feet ish from where you are. Feel free to move where you'd like.
30.
I think it's looking at us, but it hasn't approached us.
Correct. It has noticed you, but is well, it might be like it might like you see it turn and notice you, and you move before it moves, kind of thing. So like it will move
Okay.
at you, most likely. You expect it will.
Cool. I'm gonna be right up in the eggs, trying to just running through them, careful where I'm stepping. I don't make eye contact with this creature as I am pulling around to try to get its head as much I can before it moves.
Okay. As you move forward, if your primary goal is to move forward, you can like make your action even more movement, and it was literally just double it if that was really what you want to do. Otherwise, you notice that as you kind of like nestle near the eggs, the creature does like it is noticing you. It's beginning to like move towards you guys or whatever, right? And then as soon as you kind of like nestle within the eggs, you see it kind of like stop moving and like stiffens up a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and push up against this wall, and I'm going to get my fire charger ready to go in
Okay.
case this thing pulls forward. I know my brother's going to try to be stupid and try to do some kind of heroic thing, but no, I'm not going to let him be the hero. He's coming back with me.
Okay.
I don't know about the bomb. He's that one friend that you're kind of like, I wish my brother would quit hanging out with that guy.
That's exactly me.
Literally me.
Yep.
Yeah. But
So Dimash is seeing what Oren's doing, and he's thinking that's pretty good. He's also kind of thinking to himself, he has a summon water elemental spell scroll, and he's wondering how far away he can summon that. And is there any specific places he could put it?
I would say we'll make it simple. Anywhere within near. So like that's how most whatever works in EZD6 for like items and crap. So anywhere within near, so like 30 feet of you, you could summon it and it would just exist there.
Now, what if I run head first towards the monster and wish to summon it in his mouth? So that way it swallows a water elemental.
You could certainly try it. I'd say that I'd probably roll a little bit higher magic resistance against the spell at that point. So right
Okay.
now, I'd say the magic resistance of this creature might be like 2d6. I'd probably put it up to like a 4d6 if you tried that, but it's worth a try. And a scroll will roll with 2d6 always. So there's the possibility that.
So if I summoned it in front of him, do I think he bites as his primary attack, or do I think he claws as his primary attack?
You notice that there are several things. You're noticing it has very large claws. It's moving pretty quickly for its size. It's got really nasty teeth too. It could likely do either. It seems pretty mobile. So maybe your first thought is that your inkling might be that it would attack with like its arms or appendages before its mouth. Maybe, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do it. I'll summon it in its mouth.
Okay. Sounds good.
Here's my full movement. And he doesn't seem to be in near just yet.
How far? It is like kind of close.
I think it's like a space or two. I don't have the...
It's close enough. It's pretty close. It's no big deal. Okay. So if you want to try to do that, I'm going to roll first for its magic resistance. So you know the target you got to beat. And it would be 4d6. It doesn't actually work like it's thought. Here we go. Let's do it like that. 4d6. Roll. Okay, so one of them was a 6. So basically your target is a 6. You can't spend karma on these. You would be rolling with 2d6. You're trying to get a 6, and the spell will succeed. Otherwise...
Can I use a hero die as well on this?
You could. If it goes wrong, yeah. You could roll any die, any single die.
Could I just make it 3d6 with the hero die?
It'd be worse for you if you did that, actually.
Oh, because 1 means automatic fail.
Right.
Yeah, it'd make more sense to roll 3d6 and then the hero die if you needed to.
Yeah, hero die.
Reroll one die. It is a 6. You literally, that's insane. Okay,
Good
okay.
job.
You run up to this creature, you notice it kind of like stops as Orin nestles within the eggs there, and it kind of like does the same thing as you do that too. And you notice it opens its mouth just enough to like let out this hideous hiss. And immediately it's interrupted by gargling as this creature has this elemental just like form within its mouth violently. And you see it kind of just like flail around with its head for a second before you see and hear just like a large like echo through the chamber. Your water elemental is inside this creature.
Just like a dangerous drink, beat up its kidneys.
Yeah, exactly. So now that you have that summoned, it's basically just kind of a focus spell. As long as you focus on it, it's good. So you wouldn't be able to cast other focus spells, but it just exists. And it'll just kind of like act. You can make it do stuff on your turn as if it were like a familiar or pet kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's crazy. So this water elemental's in this creature's guts right now. What would you have it do now, I guess?
The command would be just start tearing it apart from the inside out.
All right.
You know, like literally rip apart its kidneys. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm not gonna have it roll at all. It's literally it can't miss. It can't mess this up. Well, I guess there could be a natural like a crit though. So I guess I will have it roll, but it's gonna hit regardless. If it's a crit, it'd be even better. So go ahead and
Internal kidney punch.
roll 1d6 for an attack from this thing. Okay, well that's okay. We're not even gonna count. We won't even count the natural ones. While it's in there, it automatically does 1 strike of damage while it's just like flailing around this turn. So that's the thing. It can't not damage the thing. So while it's inside this creature, it will continuously do a strike of damage every time, minimum. If you roll like natural 6s or crits kind of thing, you could possibly confirm that too and make it more. So that was awesome. What is Dean doing with all this?
Before we switch over to Dean, I would just like to hold out one potion to my side as he is also on my left side, seeing if he would like to take it. It is a speed potion.
Unless it gives me strength. I'm like, you keep that. You might need it.
It's take 2 consecutive turns on each of your turns for a scene. But when the potion wears off, you take a strike of damage.
Pretty interesting.
I will not. I'm gonna hold off on that potion. I'll take my drugs if I need to. It's pretty distracted by the water elemental, like it's not necessarily looking directly at us anymore.
It's definitely distracted. It doesn't know what's happening inside of it necessarily. So it's still kind of looking at you guys because you're the only active threats in the room, at least.
When people before were getting close to the eggs, it froze.
It did.
It was worried we might hurt them.
Maybe.
So what if I run up and open up my tent and start filling it with eggs?
Open up your tent. Okay.
Yeah, I have a tent.
That's a bit of a bag. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
So I'm thinking that's not something I can necessarily carry over my shoulder, but I could drag behind me like 20 eggs in this tent.
Okay. That sounds good. So you run up to this cluster that they're kind of hanging out in, and you basically just like throw your tent over this as just like a net, basically. And you gather up a bunch of these things, and this creature, obviously hurt and thrashing around from what's happening inside of it, but it sees you and just lets out a hideous like scream noise as you do this. And you notice with this sound, a lot of the other eggs are like violently shaking around and moving too. But yeah, you can tell this creature is very upset as you kind of like bag up these eggs, and you see it kind of like begin to rear back, and you see like just this basically just like ball of just like condensed glowing green stuff just kind of like forming in front of its mouth.
Can I
Get out of there, Dean.
what does it change if I like then pull that big tent's worth of eggs in front of myself?
You watch as this forming ball, its eyes are like tracked down at you as its mouth is like lifted up almost in like a howling formation, forming this thing that it's doing. You realize as soon as you treat the eggs like a shield, it completely like dismisses this thing that it's doing.
Okay. If I can move a little bit more, I want to move up in front of. I keep
Freaking
moving.
idiot.
I've got distracted.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to say right now, just for like ease of, oh, not ease, actually the opposite, literally the opposite of ease. As a challenge to you, you have a shield. Clearly, you can tell. Your hands are completely full while this is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. But it's very effective. You can tell right away, like, oh, this is the ticket. This is helping. So yeah, that works perfectly. You stand right in front and basically become a shield for your allies here. This creature's almost just like a standoff as it's just like staring you down. So that's pretty cool. You all did something here. It's going to kind of, first off, it's going to rush. You see it kind of just like slowly as it's watching you guys, you see it step off of the platform by this pool of nastiness. You see it kind of like dip the front half of its body in, and it like comes up out of the water, just like, or not water, out of the acid, and just like dripping acid all over the like the front half of its torso. And basically it just like it just like swallowed and filled up its guts with acid. So I'm gonna have it make another resistance check to basically try to dispel the elemental that it's hanging out in its guts with this 2d6 this time. It's normal magic resistance. Okay, so you'd be a 4. So we'll just keep it basically the same way that the scroll worked the first time. So it'd be 2d6 against that to see if it can be maintained. And it can. Perfect. So in the meantime, you feel like the pull of this like conjured being in the monster there. You feel it kind of like slip away from you for a second. You're like, uh-oh, that was a good idea. And then the strength returns. The thing fights it off one way or another this time.
Nice. He felt acid coming into the stomach and he moved on to the next one, the liver.
Yeah, basically. Okay, and at that is going to shriek one more time loudly, angrily, that it can't like get this thing done. And you notice that there are several eggs that actually hatch, specifically in this area over here. And these eggs are different than the little sting bats that were hanging out with you earlier. They are just miniature versions, basically. Like you recognize the first creature you fought. They literally just look like that creature, but the size of like a large dog now instead. And they kind of just summon over there and hang out. So that'll be its turn. Those guys won't necessarily act this turn or anything. So back up to you guys as this creature is still timidly looking in your direction as you're like using this net full of its eggs as a shield.
I'm going to go last.
I'm going to go ahead and shoot my fire all at these creatures that have just spawned out.
Oh, okay.
And so it's good.
Sounds good. So you can target multiple creatures in EZD6.
Yeah. The thing that I'm spending 2 charges to spray the area.
Oh, cool. There's mechanics for what you're doing already. What's that about?
So it does 1 strike damage to each one of them. Make 1 attack roll against each target.
Sweet.
Does it have a farther range than just near?
Farther range than near.
I think basically everything is just like near damage or near.
Yeah, near. Yeah, near.
Yeah.
Mine has a total of 3 charges from those little things.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, they are kind of far.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even look. I'm like zoomed up into the map. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
I was like, oh, they just formed up right next to us. Okay. We got this.
Run.
I am going to run. You just mind you run as well. And I look at him. I say, I'm not going back. I'm going to see, I don't know, Grandpapa and tell him that you're dead out here. You better follow behind me. I'm going to run to the 30. Okay. Once again, I'm having my fire thrower ready to go, just in case.
You should just double move. If we all just double move, like we can get like a third the way there, half the way there almost.
Let's do it then.
Yeah, if we're trying to ditch.
I mean, we're going to die if we don't.
Okay.
I'd run.
All right. So you just start booking it. I actually kind of like the narrative of like you prepare to like take a shot at these creatures, and then you're like, dang it, I can't hit them. They're like just out of my reach. Like this sucks. And then the whole exchange of just like just run, get out of here. Like that's actually pretty fun. So you start booking it out of there. And I think Homer said he was going last. So Alex, what do you want to do then?
Okay, definitely. So I guess I'll start moving in the same direction, but I'll keep my oil skin bag
Mhm.
ready just in case I can like pour it out and create a fire. It's mainly to stop something from chasing us. So if it's those little things or the big thing, I'm gonna do that.
Smart. Okay, that sounds good.
So grabbing something out of my pocket, moving my movement, and then moving an action's worth of movement as well.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys are absolutely booking it. And then I think you actually moved Dean. That's okay. So now what does Dean do?
I think the same thing. I'm gonna trail a little bit in case these eggs hatch or something. So I don't want them to like spring all over all of us, but I still want to be like close enough that it's probably not going to attack them.
Okay. I will say this is kind of fun. While you're carrying this like tent of like, I don't know, it's decently full of eggs. It's probably going to be kind of difficult. So give me just kind of like a general check to be able to move while not either harming them accidentally or, being able to actually move your distance kind of thing.
Can I, since I've got, what the heck is that thing called? Well, Brawler is strikes. I've got the powerful arms. Now this has stuff with like pry bar stuff, but then it also has the boon to grappled rolls. Could I, if I get boon to grappled, could I maybe apply that in this
Actually,
case?
yeah, no, that's not too far fetched. That makes sense. Yeah, you can roll this one with a boon. I like that. Amazing. Okay, this time around, absolutely no issue. You literally just like, my team's leaving me. I've got the shield. This isn't going to be good. You literally just like haul up this like tent full of things, just like you're carrying a huge person basically, and just start like booking it. So it looks silly, but you do manage to catch up without issue actually, which would bring us back over to monsters' turns. All right, here's the dirty stuff. Okay, this is going to get crazy. So this creature, first off, just like steps across the water. It can move 40. It can't quite get all the way over to you guys. So it's going to get kind of like right next to its brood there, its other grouping of eggs. And it is funny. It's still kind of like maybe not directly attacking you because you're carrying its eggs. But yeah, I don't know. Dean's kind of behind everyone else. You're going to see it as it's kind of like walking into the water. It walks up into the water and then literally just like slings its arm across the water like you would as a kid in a pool trying to be like, I'm water bending. Like, look at this cool wave I make. And it's just like sends this acid pool up over the edge, targeting specifically the front two of you and not Dean because he's holding the eggs.
When it like as a because I have got the reflex thing, as like a reaction, could I maybe like hold it out over the edge of there's like a lip there on the walkway? Could I maybe like hold it out over the edge to see if it reacts at all as it lifting its arm to do that?
Yeah, you can do that. You notice it stops, but it doesn't stop its movement completely. And it kind of just like panic stops halfway through its swipe so that only the closest person to it, Orin, is actually still going to be potentially splashed with the acid.
Okay. Hi, Orin.
I see it charging into the waters. I slide to a stop to try to avoid what's going to be coming. D6, right? For that defense?
So the defense you don't even have to worry about until it hits you. So hopefully, basically this attack just kind of happens. It's like this acid just flying towards you. It's very familiar. It's in its lair. Every attack it makes will be made with a boon. Okay, so it would be a 5, so it would hit. So now, because it hits you, it also would deal 2 strikes. You make an armor save for every strike. So you'll make 2 armor saves to try to avoid these strikes of damage now, separately.
Let's go for it. Greeting, I wear fancy clothes. So I have a bane.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, let me see if I have another set of clothes. I don't think I would be wearing my fancy clothes.
Probably not.
Normal clothing. Yeah. Okay.
We retroactively give him armor instead.
Avoidance. It's saying normal clothing avoidance is +4. Let's see what it says for that. Cool.
So normally, in case this helps you make sense of any of your stuff on your sheet, normally the way an armor save works is you would roll and try to hit a target number And I think for most people with like light armor, it's 6. And then with medium armor, it's 5. And then some especially tanky classes or whatever is like 4 because they can use a shield and stuff like that. So light armor would be normally 6. Regular armor would be 5. Especially tanky would be 4 for some reason.
Yeah, because you're rolling defense, not avoidance in this case.
Karma can be spent on armor saves as well.
I don't have enough karma. I'm gonna take it.
You gotta roll 2 though. One for
So
each.
one strike, you're definitely taking. You go ahead and try to save from the other one.
Wait, what do I have to be? The 5?
I don't know.
Was it a 6? 6 actually. It was a 6. So
No,
now
no,
it's
6? Okay.
yeah. Let's take the 2 strike.
Okay, so you only take 1 strike. You did save from 1. So you take 1 strike. And thankfully that was enough. Like this creature kind of pulled back its attack due to Dean's quick thinking. So that is it for that creature currently. You notice as the younglings of this type of creature have a very special and just cheating ability. They can literally, until they mature and their bodies become too large, they can literally just teleport. They straight up can just like phase. But at some point, when they reach adolescence, their bodies are too big and they can't magically vault themselves, and they just stop. Thankfully, you haven't even had to deal with that yet, but these creatures can teleport up to 50 feet. So they'll get there and then use their actions to basically do that again. And they would get moving them all at once, which is confusing. That's 45 feet. Move that one a little closer. Okay. So they're basically just like
the acid.
What's that?
Did that one actually go in the acid? Like, was it resistant to the acid, or would they have avoided the acid? Do we know?
Technically, as they teleported to you, they only teleported across the non-acidic parts. So you don't actually know. But they use their action to get where they are now. So they don't actually do anything. And it would be back to your guys' turn. Who's doing what?
How many of those potions of speed do you have?
I've only got 1 potion of speed, unfortunately.
Like ripping off the side of the shirt that's all like covered in acid. Okay. I look back at you guys. I just start running as fast as I can. Our one way out right there, and he's about to move in front of it. We need to go. Okay.
Dimash, you should take that potion of speed. And Oren, you should take this potion of speed as well.
Like drugs. Typical teen. Always trying to get me high on
these drugs would have been in like an armpit compartment. So I would like reached into my shirt and like
reason why mom and dad.
So this is a description of the drugs. It says the various substances that can, this is a generic description, that can alter perception or enhance abilities. When used, the effect lasts a scene, after which you take a bane on all actions until the end of the next scene. And then it gives an example of what some drugs might do, which are some drugs may have additional effects or benefits like relieving stress, temporarily enhancing strength, or resistance to certain effects. All share the same risk. So I was wondering if there could be like a stimulant or something.
Yeah.
For the drug. It's like meth or something.
Yeah.
My potion is called Dromdax Potion of Speed. So maybe it's a Dromdax special.
Yeah, we could
powder. I don't know.
Obviously they could be different things. But what if we just make them have the exact same effect? And one is like a street drug, and one's like a refined potion. You know, that'd be kind of funny.
Warren does not like that you're pulling out of your armpit. It could have been anywhere else.
You didn't see that part. Hey, there's a worse one, but you didn't see that.
It could have been any nicer area. You know what I mean?
As you're talking, I'm like just shoving it up your nose. Like I'm just like
get off me,
breathing heavily. Like you can't help it. Like I'm.
Let's go. Let's run. I have it covered in my face. Oh my gosh.
There you go. So you can take two. What is it? You can take 2 full actions this round.
Take 2 consecutive turns on each of your turns for a scene, but when the potion wears off, you take a strike of damage.
For a scene. Holy moly. So that's like basically for this whole encounter, you'll be able to take 2 full turns every round. That's insane.
Let's go. I position myself right here, and that's a partial move. I'm going to do my full move, but before I do that, since I have another action, I'm going to fire at this guy. Right? Or is it me that has a double? I'm going to shoot him with my fire.
You got to get out of here. That thing's got like a bajillion life. You're just going to make it angry.
I totally thought you were going to fire at Dean.
I could have. It was a hard choice. I flipped a coin.
I am a gambler. That is my that's my weakness, is my gambling addiction. So
Yeah, that sounds good though.
Gambling and your drug addiction. Your
yeah,
drug.
right.
the
The
drugs I
drugs.
only take when it's useful, when it's necessary. I can totally stop whenever I want.
That's okay. Well, I was gonna say that's what they all say, and then you actually said the line they all say, so that's fair.
He says, I only got one bad habit at a time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Well,
Oren,
let's go
feel
ahead and
free.
roll for this.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna roll to attack it. So that's gonna be the D6. Next success, I am cheating. So yeah, I don't know if that was a success or not.
This is the first time that it's been directly attacked, and I will openly reveal its armor based on the fact that this did not hit. You have to roll a 5 to be able to hit this creature through its armor, which is absurd in EZD6 defense for a creature, for the record.
Gosh,
The
I
last
have to
one was
fire
6.
blast at it, but it's like doesn't seem like it does anything. Oh my freaking gosh. Okay, let's keep going. I reload a new cartridge and I just run.
Okay.
Yeah, you have 2 moves, right? Because you have got 2 turns, so you got 2 more moves.
Yeah. Well, basically, I used one of them for a move,
Right. Yep.
which is the full move, which is I just did that, and then I did one for attacking it.
Yeah, but you get 2 turns worth. So you moved
Right.
and attacked, and now you get 2 moves.
If you use your action to move again, is what he's saying. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So your first turn was moving and attacking. Second turn is whatever.
Oh, moving and second turn is
Move more, keep going.
you have speed too, don't you?
Yeah,
But
I've
I'm not
only
going to go
done
full
half.
all the way.
Yeah, I've only done half my thing, so yeah.
I'm going to position myself right at that entrance area.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take my Dromdax potion of speed, get myself up to pace, and then 12 spaces right over here, and then 12 spaces right over here. Getting pretty close to these ropes here, and I want to see if
Yeah.
it's easy enough for us to like climb up.
Yeah, these ropes do fully extend, even like some like touching and coiling on the ground. And they seem like relatively sturdy ropes. Like maybe they're even like they don't seem to be rotted almost at all. Like they seem very fresh somehow.
Okay.
And yeah, they're totally within reach. There are at least 3 actually like reaching down to the ground. One you have to jump for a little bit, but it's like very much reachable. So yeah.
That was 4 technical movements there, so I probably can't do anything else.
Okay. All right.
Should I roll for my Santa sack of eggs?
Yeah. Go ahead and do that if you're trying to move some more.
And would the water elemental still be in him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was 2 turns worth where it should have actually taken damage from that, as it's still kind of like hanging out in its guts already. So it's taken a total of 3 strikes of damage from the water elemental, just banging it up on the inside. Good job remembering. And then Dean, you're up. All good.
I only have 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
not boosted like them, so
Oh no, you're good. Sorry. Okay, so you moved already. My fault.
yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So let's see here. This creature is going to, let's see, maybe the little guys move first, actually. So they are going to, I can't move them as a group. It's too hard. This one's going to teleport 50 feet. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. Stop. Don't look. I'm just kidding. What's happening? Okay,
favorite.
restart. It will teleport 50 feet. It can't quite reach you, but
Teleport inside out.
they can all get close enough to actually. And so they rear back. They teleport up right next to the other nest next to them, and you see each of them kind of in unison almost do a similar thing that you kind of saw the big queen or whatever creature doing, where you see them kind of like lunge back as if they're howling almost, and you see just like a small ball of glowing green energy kind of just like form in front of their mouths, and then they just like launch this like arcane beam at you, basically seemingly arcane. It is similar to the acid that is around them, but all 3 of them are going to target Dean with this attack, one at a time.
Oh,
Oh no,
Can I
All
just
right.
toss an egg in their mouth instead?
it's too late.
I also feel like the mother is the only one who has apprehension about hurting the eggs.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay, So
So
already,
do you want to kill him more, Cody, or
all three.
I don't think fours
whoa,
hit
whoa.
me though, right?
Fours do. Threes hit normal creatures, including player characters even.
Okay. Only improves my defense roll.
Right. So it's not necessarily over yet, for the record, but that would be 3 strikes against you. I'm going to roll to confirm the crit as well.
To do that.
So 3. Unfortunately, all 3 of these creatures blast and hit you technically. How much does your armor help you, or how much do you dodge it? I need 3 armor saves to avoid 3 strikes.
5. I've got medium armor, so 5 will be enough.
Okay.
And you said that the sack was a shield, and a shield gets you a free reroll.
Okay, I'll allow it. That does make sense.
Mhm.
You're still lugging them around after all.
don't forget
Yeah.
about your hero dice.
Yeah, I've got hero dice, and I have some charisma. They're not charisma. I've got some.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Grit.
Here's the first one. First one saves.
Okay, 1 strike erased.
Good.
I'm gonna use my shield reroll here.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. That's
2
2. And here we go for the third one. Oh, all right. That's gonna have to be the hero die.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll use the karma.
Okay, you avoid all 3 strikes of damage as you are attacked here. So basically, you see them forming this whole thing, and you're like, oh, you pull up the eggs. You feel several just like glance off of the armor that you're wearing, and then one just like shoot directly into one of the eggs, leaving a hole in the tent shield that you have, but still effective,
I'm
seemingly.
gonna like looking at the big one and like pointing at the hole. Like, do you see what just happened?
And the big one just like lunges back and just like screams in agony, basically.
Like pointing at them. Like they're the ones that did it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So they moved. Let's see. Honestly, that actually makes a lot of sense. You see the lair creature here was kind of focused on the escapees. They're like, no, that's an issue. But with what just happened with you, I'm gonna say it actually focuses attention back on you again.
Of course. She
And-
was hoping to do that.
Like-
Yeah.
What's
Oh.
that?
What are you gonna say?
I wish I could do something to help you.
Oh, I know, right?
There's no reactional abilities, is there?
Right. You save your action
Yeah.
to take it as something's happening, kind of thing. So this creature angrily, you watch as it kind of just like actually pulls back, kind of like its rump, and just slams its tail into the water or into the acid, just creating like just a huge wave, just collapsing over the bridge where you are. Yes, even into like the eggs. Yeah. Okay. So the 5. Okay. This acid just like cascades over you and the tent holding the eggs. You watch as the tent somewhat rapidly just kind of like burns away, exposing the eggs. And a few of the eggs actually crack and are kind of like destroyed. And it would be 2 strikes of damage from this attack. So more armor saves. Here we go. You can do this.
I'm gonna use my last karma.
Okay. 1 strike negated.
You can sacrifice a shield to ignore a strike. Can I sacrifice my sack of eggs to ignore a strike?
I'm going to say yes. And it will be the last. Like basically your tent
Yeah.
just kind of lets the eggs just kind of spill
Well,
out at
that's
this
it.
point. But yeah.
Yeah, your shield's destroyed, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, it actually makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm cool with that. You avoid both strikes of damage. That makes sense to me. Good job. That's amazing.
Yeah, but now I don't have any shield. Like, well, I have my regular shield. Maybe I'd swap to my regular shield, but still.
See, there you go. There you go.
No.
Okay. So what did this guy do? It attacked once. It is going to also, of course, just screech at the bundle of eggs over here. And you see 3 more of these creatures hatch in that area.
And also take some water elemental damage.
I think it did already for this round because it was during your turn. Alex was like, oh, that needs to happen. So I think I did for this round, technically. But starting the next round, that's all the stuff for the enemies. What are you guys doing? You guys are right there. You're at the ropes. You can see these ropes just like at the ground. You also look back and see Dean just getting barraged, and you're like, oh my gosh, like he's gonna die. And then like after 3 separate consecutive attacks, you're like, he's fine. All right, so
I'm fine. Keep going. I'm totally fine.
so what's the play?
I've taken no damage, in case you were wondering.
Okay. What do you think? You're muted.
Oh yeah,
I think we probably got to clear out a space for these guys. just to get through. Maybe if we take out one of the sides of these little things, he can get by them, or we could just leave.
I fire my fire blaster at these things. I'm gonna go ahead and roll my dice, but I'm also gonna have ability for booning to try to intimidate them. The basic intimidate presence boon can use an action to inflict terrify on the target who fails a resistance save, and then they are intimidated.
Whoa, cool. Okay.
Yep. So hopefully scaring these little thingies. Let's go ahead and do that attack. That's my come on. Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, okay. So that's another cool thing. The way with the crits work is that if there's more damage that happens because of the crit, you can actually like disperse it among creatures if the first one dies, which is exactly what happens, by the way. So one is hit.
Do that exact thing.
They only have 1 health. So one is hit and is immediately destroyed by your attack.
And then it's going to go, you said it goes to another one as well?
Yeah. So basically you would just roll because you critted.
Roll again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again. Okay. That one unfortunately would miss. So
and then I'm going to go ahead and do the boon for the intimidation for the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good. This is like a contest thing. Okay. So it just has to beat that basically, right?
Yes.
It does.
Gosh. Pull out my gun. And with my other action, I'm going to fire.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have literally 2 turns. That's amazing. Okay.
So you got to start climbing those ropes.
You got to start climbing those ropes.
Up in your direction, but like it's going to take some time to climb the rope. So you guys get to the top and give me cover fire as I climb.
Are you yelling this at me?
Yeah. Give me cover fire from the top, not from the bottom.
I look back at Dimash. Damn you, Dean. Let's go. Last action 30. Go up top.
Yeah. I'll probably look at Orin and be like, Dean's trying to be a hero again. Let him.
Let him.
That's it for me.
Okay. You do manage. So what did you have left when you started climbing? Was it movement and an action or just movement?
I took 1 action to be able to use my fire blast.
Okay.
And I think I used one but I had a boon on it.
You had a boon on
intimidating.
That means that you
presence.
would roll 2d6 instead of just 1. So
okay.
Go ahead and do that now as a bit of a retcon, just in case. Okay, not better.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right, just in case. Okay, but no problem. So you do manage to begin climbing the ropes. It's obviously not as fast as you've been running, but you do get a decent way up the ropes, like to the point that your next turn, you might even be safe. Currently, you are not. You're on a rope and like still visible to the creature, still technically like dangling in its lair. Not that it seems that focused on you. In fact, it seems pretty heavily focused on Dean.
Okay.
That's weird. I wonder why.
But okay, so that's good. And then who's next?
You go ahead, Dean. Go last this time.
Can I cheat a little bit and say that I can swap to my 2-handed melee weapon, my Dragon Maul, put my shield on my back? So
Sure.
It's still... Maybe I can't re-roll things, but I could sacrifice it still, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, not really. Okay.
Sure. That makes sense.
Kind of.
Makes
No,
sense
not
enough.
really.
Only because you're getting shot.
You're
in the
very
back.
surrounded. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to feel bad if I say no and then,
I die.
I mean, I'm sure I'm dying next round anyways, even with a shield.
it doesn't
So
look
that's what I'm
good.
trying to decide.
Liar, you told me you were going to make it out.
Like, I'm trying to decide between whether I just stop here and have my maul and just try to like crush, like swing through the eggs and use its like fire ability, or if I run in the other direction. That's the other thing I can't decide if which one's better. Here's what I'll do. I will keep my shield and my thing out, my 2 one-handed things, just in case there's a chance I can live.
Okay.
And I'll run another 30 feet. I'll just move twice around them.
Okay. That sounds good. You reach the ropes. So, I mean, that, not bad. Not bad. Okay. And then Dimash.
I'm just going to be right there with Dean, almost like, give me your hand as we're trying to get out of this cave here. And then as hopefully he's reaching out for me, I'm just going to slap a potion in his hand. It's going to be the time reset potion. You can ignore the turn you just took and retake it if you want. And I'm going to use about 3.5 turns to get up this rope. And I'm going to say, you better run, Dean. And I'm going to blow my whistle.
What the heck? That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, he knows how we joke around.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, that's awesome. So you do exactly that. You get almost, well, actually, I guess you kind of would. You would get all the way up the rope. You'd be, because that your action too, you said? Yeah. Okay.
Action, movement, and then action to blow a whistle.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. You would definitely get up this rope, like enough of a ways that you actually feel pretty safe. And then, yeah, you just blow this whistle. Upon blowing this whistle, it's so loud. The way it echoes through the chamber is crazy. It somehow like resonates perfectly with the shell of these eggs. And the rest of them just hatch open everywhere, just all over the place. So, yep, just eggs all over, just hatching, you know.
It's even worse. It's like just as bad.
Yeah, so that's good. It worked. It's good. Those ones kind of,
Wait.
yeah. Something like that. Something like that. So, yeah, you notice it's just like these eggs are hatching all over the place. And all of them are kind of just looking towards the one person that's not on a rope yet. Weird. Okay, was that everyone's turn? Okay. All right, well, here we go. This is just going to be stupid. This is going to be literally dumb. All right, these guys can teleport. They'll just get a little bit closer on the bridge. We'll start with those ones. Orin, okay, technically, Orin is safe.
And
Orin
hopefully
was
the
not
newest
quite
ones,
safe.
hopefully the newest ones that respawn can't attack this round.
Oh, they for sure
Like
can.
last round.
That happened off their turn, technically, so.
Oh no.
All right, let's see. It's evens or odds here, and Orin.
Yeah, I'm a gambling man.
Okay, Orin is odds. Dean evens. All right, Dean. So all four of these ones that hatch teleport over here and then immediately target you with their same silly ranged attack. They summon this green ball of energy, acidic energy, and blast it towards you.
Is there any cover at all? There's not any kind of cover, right? Nothing I can like dive behind.
Nah. Well, I mean, sure. Roll me a d6. Quick. What is your quick reflexes? It's a 6. All right. Yes. While you're in cover, it'll instead of rolling a 3 to hit you, it'll be a 5. While you're in cover,
Okay.
that you do manage to kind of just like tuck behind one of the little arches there next to you from these attacks. Here we go. Okay. Only one of them would actually hit, and it is unfortunately also a crit. So I'm going to roll to confirm that. All right. So, okay, perfect. Roll to confirm that one as well. Okay. So 2 of those strikes land. Let's see some armor saves for those 2 strikes. Okay, 1 strike definitely taken.
That would be another strike.
Okay. You take 2 strikes. How many? Wow, how many? You taken 3 total yet?
Nope, that's just 2. That's just 2
Okay,
strikes.
great. Good job. Great. Perfect.
That's the first time I've taken damage.
Very good. Good job.
Still about 30 more of these, so.
Yeah.
And the big one.
That's true. Let's kind of.
I guess I could. Wait a minute. I have the shield up, right? Remember, because I did say I had the shield. So let me re-roll. I'm supposed to roll one of those with a boon, right? So let me re-roll one of those. Okay. So that would only be one strike.
One strike. Okay. Nice. Very good. Okay.
I'm supposed to be rolling with the boon. I keep forgetting. Sorry.
That's quite all right. You're doing great. These ones. Okay, that one's a little too hard to tell. Move them back. That's okay. Okay, no, that is 50 feet. So that one's actually going to get a little bit closer. That one can't quite get 50 feet. Let me just shy. This one's probably the same way. Yep, just shy. Yada, yada. Okay, whatever. Let's just move them all. That's 50. Okay. These 5, one of them attacks you with melee, which actually has a boon. So we'll start with that one.
That's rude.
Yeah, it's just because they're packed up.
It still gets to attack me after move. Oh, because the one move is 50.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. The 5. So it's 1 strike. Let's just wait the rest. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that haven't already attacked you. Okay, whatever. Okay. All right, perfect. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of crits there. Okay, so
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then re-roll 3 that were crits. So that's 4. Okay, 5, 6. Another one's crit. Okay, 6 strikes. Go ahead and make some armor saves.
6. I'm going to roll 6 all at once
Okay,
to save
alright, sounds
us
good.
some time, since it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. Okay. So of the 6, 2 of them I would successfully avoid.
Okay. That
And
makes
then
sense.
I would lose my shield to only take 3, so then I'd only be at -1.
Okay,
What
pretty
if your
good.
time potion turned into a hero die?
I think I would be like, I think my final words / actions would be like, I think my luck's finally run out, and then I would say something to Orn about like honor above all, and like as I just like am filled with holes, like as I'm like, I'm like using the shield to like block and dodge, but then like there's just nothing shield left, and so then it just starts
Oh,
passing through,
that's actually crazy. That's awesome. So you guys are climbing. You're almost out of the. Well, I guess one of you actually already would be. But yeah, you're just climbing. You're looking down. You see Dean. He reaches the ropes, gets a hand on one, and then stops because he's being attacked. And you see him do everything he can in his power to fend off this horde of attacks brought on by his friend that he brought along, his whistle, more than anything, honestly. He's just obliterated on the ground there at the bottom of the ropes. But you guys escape.
I climb up. I am very mad at Dimash.
I would have died from the big, because you didn't even have the big one go yet. So like I would not have made it.
Sorry,
I obviously take full responsibility for this and all of the blame. That doesn't help though.
Yeah, I don't say nothing. I don't say a word. I am just broken.
Can I throw him my maul before I die, or that's like
for sure. Yeah.
Because the sad thing is I have the fighter, and so like if I get into melee without a weapon, I guess I would have like a double boon, because I get in melee combat I get a boon, which I never was in melee combat, and then brawler 5+ I crit, and I get a boon when fighting like with like my fists.
Oh yeah,
unarmed.
that would have been crazy. 3d6 crit on 5s. That's wild. That would have been actually really awesome. So you guys reach the top of this like crevice after climbing for quite a while. Like you're like exhausted when you reach the top, when you reach the surface again. And right away, you find a party of 3 adventurers' corpses at the top here. They each have bullet holes like straight through their foreheads. 1 bullet hole through each of their foreheads. And you find their packs. In their packs, you actually find a journal of hastily written notes. And in these notes, you read just like scribbles, like written shorthand almost, really more than anything. But you can, thankfully, because of Oren's abilities, you can actually decipher it super easily. And basically, you find that these notes lay out a thing where it says specifically, the High Command deliberately destroyed your old homeland's ecosystem a generation ago to force the population onto the floating city-state, ensuring absolute authoritarian control over a captive, dependent populace. The tethers are now, like, see them, it all makes sense now. Like, the ropes are relatively recent. You don't fully understand the secret you've discovered, but you've got flares ready to go to get picked up.
So we don't fully understand what I'm pretty pissed off. Like this is why he died.
We'll leave it there for now. Maybe we return to this, maybe we don't. Interesting piece of lore to keep things moving if you guys would like. So it's kind of fun, but you did it, except for Dean. But that's okay. He made it happen for you guys.
Died. I made a well-adjusted character, so I knew he was going to die.
Didn't have a tragic backstory. Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Very good. Smooth moves.
Yeah.
That's very fun. Obviously, just obnoxiously horrendous at the end for Dean.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That
To be
was
fair, I was trying to put him in danger, but I didn't think he was going to die.
You did?
I actually did think he'd find a way to make it
did.
out, to be honest. Somehow.
I know. Yeah, me too. I was like, okay.
Now,
I was just really trying to be that bad friend that he's to Dean.
The moment we landed in there, I was like, we are so dead. That's why I gathered up the eggs in the tent, I was
Yeah.
planning on actually running to the bottom right-hand corner. I was not even going to try to escape.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. That was the plan the whole time. That's wild.
But
I
you
would've
guys kept hesitating, so I was like, all right, I'll keep running with you.
That's true, Leon. Like when we were still over, like way over at the first egg thing, I remember one of the things you said specifically was like, I'll move last kind of thing. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, cool.
I was going to run back here and then start
I should
smashing.
have rolled. I feel like I should have rolled against you to see if you're lying, if you're going to do something that stupid, and then I would have stuck it out.
You would have just died too.
That's what I would have preferred. It's too late. You were dead. It's not like I'm going to slide down there and be like, okay, let me save his dead body.
Yeah.
Would have
There was also like a small inclination of like, oh, wait a minute, is my character evil? Like, what if Dimash doesn't want his brother to tell him that I got him killed, and I just cut his rope when he fell?
Oh, good one.
Honestly,
Part of that.
There's even other ways that you could
Right.
be evil based on the ending reveal. That'd be kind of crazy too.
Almost wish that you had done that. Like that
would
was
have
around info.
I like
It turns
read the
out, like,
note. Pushes me in the hole.
Yeah, he's that. He's like, oh man. He's like, you were gonna make it home too.
Can
What?
we just
Kick him off.
restate? Let's go and re-record again and just have.
That's awesome. Good fun. Very cool. Thanks for
Yeah.
staying up late. Appreciate you guys. But that was
Thanks.
a lot of fun, and I need to get to bed.
Yeah, same here. Well, have a good night, guys.
You
Have a
too.
great evening, guys.